So the Switch 2 was officially announced this month, so that means until we see more in April, the speculation train is going to be running full steam ahead as far as what games we're going to be playing on the system. Well, I want to get in on that action, but rather than just guess what games will be there, today I want to speculate on more specifically what a certain game that will likely be near the Switch 2's launch will be like, and that's WarioWare. I've made several videos on this channel talking about my love of WarioWare. It's one of my favorite series, and also one of the most consistent series under Nintendo's banner. Since its release on the Game Boy Advance, there's been an entry in the series on each Nintendo system, oftentimes making sure to really lean into that system's gimmick as the main gameplay hook. WarioWare Touched on the DS using the touchscreen, Smooth Moves focusing on the Wii's motion control, Game & Wario having to use the Wii U touchpad as well as the TV screen, and Get It Together on the Switch focusing on being able to play with a friend in split Joy-Con mode. Even Mega Party Games on the GameCube was basically just the original GBA release, but with multiplayer now that the system had 4 controller ports. The only system that, in my opinion, did not really come through on this idea is the 3DS with WarioWare Gold, which was a 2D only game. Would have been really neat to see them try something really 3D focused, but alas. Okay, so what was the point of all that background info from past WarioWares? Basically, I'm convinced at this point, after seeing all the rumors of the Switch 2 having some form of mouse support, and then that being teased during the initial hardware reveal trailer, that the next WarioWare's gimmick will indeed be mouse games. And I think I know how that will play thanks to a recent indie release I played on my Steam Deck called Fish-like. Fish-like, for all intents and purposes, is just a WarioWare game. If you have fond memories of the original on GBA, do yourself a favor and spend the $3 on Steam to play it now. I don't want to fall into a full-on review for the game. I did enjoy it, but I do want to talk a bit about how it controls because I think it really could be a glimpse to how the next WarioWare will play. So games have 2 main control schemes, buttons and D-pad, or games that want you to move and click a mouse. WarioWare microgames translate really well to mouse controls in my opinion. The frantic and often very precise objectives feel natural, and I felt in control while playing them like this. And I know what you're saying, what if you're playing portably? Well, most of my time spent playing Fish-like was without a mouse, and it just used the Steam Deck's touchscreen to mimic mouse movements, and that worked great as well. I made a couple mock-up logos for this new WarioWare game, and I think they're really going to lean into the mouse theme with a little double entendre action, and make the characters mice, since you'll be using the mouse. Possible titles I came up with are WarioWare Mousin' Around, or WarioWare The Rat Race, and I'm also calling it here that they're bringing back Mousin from Super Mario Bros. 2 as a character in the story. You know, something Wario made a video game like he does in many other games in the series, and then Mousin steals it and turns them all into mice, and then you gotta get back to him in increasingly odd story sequences and have a big boss fight at the end or something like that. As for things I want to see in this next WarioWare, first things first, I would love to see another weekly challenge similar to the Gold Cups from Get It Together. I really enjoyed playing these every week when that game came out, and it let me play that game for a whole year rather than just putting it down after a couple of weeks. And on top of that, maybe Nintendo goes crazy and puts in some online leaderboards as well. I would love to see where I stack up on these weekly challenges, or even just leaderboards for the single-player high score runs to see how I stack up against friends would be pretty cool. Other than that, I just want it to be a solid WarioWare, which they normally deliver on. Thanks for watching. I'm looking forward to the Switch 2 presentation in April and seeing what Nintendo has in store for the new console. I'm not 100% expecting the next WarioWare to come out this year or anything, but the last 2 did come out in 2021 and 2023, so maybe there's a chance 2025 has a new WarioWare. Nintendo also likes to put out gimmicky games near a console's launch to show off that new hardware, so maybe it's somewhat likely after all that WarioWare fits this role. If you liked this video, it would mean a lot if you left a like down below, and if you want to see more, make sure to subscribe while you're down there. If you think I'm a big dummy and none of this will happen, I want to hear your thoughts in the comments about what the next WarioWare will be like. Thanks again for watching, and see you next time.